We'll see if I can beat the thunderstorm that's about to roll in. You may hear it in the background. My name is Vicki Maris. I am glad you are here watching this video, or maybe you're listening to the audio. I'm doing this series of short reflection videos after spending periods of silence in my day as a way to lead up to a talk I'll be giving on June 9th at the Purdue Women's Conference. I'll say a little bit more about that conference at the end of this short video. I wanted to share with you something that it didn't necessarily come to me in the silence today, but the idea developed a little further as I was being quiet, and I did my silence this afternoon out here in this beautiful weather, which is getting stormy here in a second. It's rolling in pretty fast from the west. I was playing music this morning in our band at church. And a lot of times when I'm doing that, if the pastor is speaking or a worship leader is speaking before one of the songs that we're going to do, I often will hold my hand across the strings like that to dampen any sound that might come from my guitar if I happen to just nick it with my fingernail or something as maybe I'm moving the music stand or something like that. I don't want to disturb the spoken word. And I was noticing today, the guitar players among you might think it's crazy that I'm just now noticing this, but this is part of what's resulting from spending time in silence, and that is so much more awareness of everything, of the words I hear inside, things about boundaries, things about what I think God might be telling me to do as your next step, Vicki, should be this, or don't do that. I feel like I'm hearing things more clearly. And so today, as I'm holding my hand across the strings of my guitar pretty gently, I was feeling the energy resonating. I could, as spoken word was happening in the sanctuary of the church, and it was amplified, so it was coming, through a sound system, meaning it was loud. And that sound, the energy of that sound, I was feeling it come through the strings right here, and then even feeling it in the body of the guitar. And it wasn't loud enough that my guitar wasn't amplifying the spoken word of another person. It was the first time I had noticed that. And I could even feel the difference that energy, how it was manifesting as it was hitting the larger strings, like my big E string, or the smaller strings, the B or the E string on the this side of the fretboard. It was feeling different to me, and I feel like I need to apologize for my slow way of speaking this, because I hadn't just really have never thought about this before, and it was fascinating to me. And then I was just tying that this morning. I was tying it to just think of how everything has energy. And some of that energy is resonating at a frequency that is strong enough to be noticeable like that. And I was thinking of the words that we speak to one another, and sometimes those words are in love, and I'm sure they hit the strings of our heart beautifully. And then sometimes when they're being shouted, or if they're being spoken in a hurtful way, how that would feel so differently. And then when I was in silence, I did my silence this afternoon today. I was sitting in a lawn chair out here behind the truck, and the thunder of this storm was starting to approach, and it sort of brought me out of the silence, out of that meditative state. And I was realizing that that sound of the thunder, its energy was reaching me. And in that moment it was saying, hey Vicky, you've got a couple of bags of grain in the back of your truck that you purchased today. You ought to get those under cover before the rain rolls in. It was a little warning sign, and spoken to me firmly by the thunder, but not in anger. It was just a gentle reminder. I'll leave you with that today. That one, being in silence increases your awareness of everything. For me, it was just noticing how my guitar was this resonating body for that spoken word, and how it was coming down the strings differently depending on which string it was hitting, and coming out of the body of my guitar differently in different areas of the guitar. And then I heard it in the thunder. I'm curious to know what you're noticing as you spend time in silence. I'd love for you to either add a comment down below in the description under this video, or maybe you would like to attend the conference. The Purdue Women's Conference is June 9th and 10th. It's open to the public. The speakers, from what I can tell, for the most part, the speakers are alumni of Purdue, but you don't have to be affiliated with Purdue to attend and appreciate the things that the women will be sharing. I'm speaking about how to tune out the noise with daily silence. There are all sorts of topics, most of them somehow affiliated with self-care. That's kind of the theme of the conference, but I've noticed some topics related to business owning, and then more directly to self-care, kind of like what my topic is about. I'll put the link to the conference down in the description as well. Thanks for hanging out with me. You can also send me an email if you'd like to share what you are learning and hearing in the results of your silence. However you reach out to me, I am very interested to hear how it's working in your life. Take care, my friend.